Hey guys, so this video is going to be a get ready with me video, but I'm also going to be kind of reviewing the Fenty Beauty foundation because I finally got my hands on it. So I am the shade 330. I did not get color matched at a store or anything like that, so we're going to pray to God that this matches my skin tone, because I went on every freaking review site and blog site possible to see what shade everyone was using for my complexion, which is kind of like a NC44 in MAC. So everyone was saying 330 or 310, so I went darker just because I am a little bit more on the tan side. So we're going to be using that for this get ready with me video, so I hope that you guys enjoy. Okay guys, so the first thing I'm going to do is actually put on my BeatBib. And if you guys have not seen these things, they're all over Instagram and Facebook. They are thebomb.com. Really? Really?
Sorry.
Really? My husband's dying in the background. Just ignore him. So yeah, I'm going to go ahead and put my BeatBib on. And we're going to get started because this thing just definitely helps with like loose powders falling. It won't get on your clothes. So I'm going to go ahead and start with a primer. I did not get the Fenty primer just because I don't normally use primer. But since it does have a primer that goes to it, I figured I would just use my own. So I'm going to be using the Urban Decay Optical Illusion Primer. I literally just picked this up from Ulta. So I'm going to be using this, and I have no idea how this works either, so I'm just going to use it as a regular primer and base, and it is thick. So this is supposed to minimize pores too, so maybe that's why it's super thick. And so far, one thing I don't like about this primer per se is the fact that it has like a ashy tint to it. But I'm going to go with it. I'm going to go with this, see how it does with this foundation. Okay, so now that my primer is on, I'm going to go ahead and apply the Fenty Beauty foundation. I saw a lot of people using like the blender, or they use the brush. So for this, I'm actually going to use a damp beauty blender, at least on this side of my face, just so we can see what it does and then see the type of coverage it has with a brush. So let me get my beauty blender. And I'm going to dampen my beauty blender with some MAC Fix Plus. And I'm going to put it directly on the beauty blender. Ooh. So first off, I want to say that this, you definitely don't need a lot of product. I feel like I have way too much on right now. But for coverage, it's amazing. This is a little bit more on the orangey side for me, so maybe I did need that 310, but I'm just gonna blend it out and see what it does. Yeah, so this is definitely kind of on the orangey side. But it gave me a really nice full coverage, and that may be because I use way too much product. But I'm just going to blend this out some more. I do really like the coverage. I have to say that, because you don't even really need concealer with this. So it's probably why she didn't come out with a concealer. So I'm just going to blend this in some more, try to get some of this product into the beauty blender instead of on my face. And as it's like settling, it doesn't look too harsh, but it is most definitely full coverage. So now I'm going to take a little bit of a flat top brush, and I'm just going to do 2 pumps this time. I went cray cray on this side with the Beauty Blender. So just 2 pumps with a brush, and we're going to see how this does. Okay, so with the, I can already tell. So with the Beauty Blender, I got more of a flawless finish. And then with the brush, it's kind of, I want to say lighter and a little bit more sheer. I just really like the way this looks compared to this side. So this side is like super, super smooth. And this side is kind of like, So this side is with the brush, and then this side is with the Beauty Blender. And I kind of definitely like the way the Beauty Blender has my skin looking. But yeah, Riri did it with this coverage though. So I'm just going to use the Beauty Blender and just work this into this side of my face, just to make sure that everything is pretty much almost the same. So yeah, you can definitely see like where it's splotchy from the brush, and then where it's like completely smooth from the Beauty Blender. So I would definitely suggest using a Beauty Blender with this foundation, and I'm just going to add a little bit more. Okay, and for the most part, I feel like the foundation shade in general is a tad bit too tan, maybe, or a little bit too much on the orangey side. I'm not sure yet. I haven't put my finger on it yet, but it's honestly not that bad in person. But looking at it on camera, it looks a little too dark. But considering I am super tan, it kind of goes with the rest of my body. So I don't know how to feel about this just yet, but let's go ahead and do the rest of our face. As for how this feels drying, because this is more of a foundation review, this feels kind of stiff. So like as it's drying on my face is starting to feel a little stiff. It's not tacky or anything. It just feels like it's like really, really matte. So yeah, this is definitely something you're also going to have to so this is definitely something you're going to have to basically maybe moisturize before you put this on instead of a primer, because like I said, it is really drying. It does not feel like skin, so it actually feels like a heavy foundation in my opinion. However, I did use a lot, so that could be that as well. But let's go ahead and move on to the rest of our face, and then we will see how this foundation acts with product on top of it. So I'm gonna go ahead with my concealer, my LA Girl Pro Concealer in Pure Beige. And then we're gonna blend it out with that same Beauty Blender. So now I'm going to take that Benai Banana Powder, and I'm going to use that same Beauty Blender, and I'm going to set where I concealed. Then I'm going to take a small powder brush, and I'm just going to swipe my face basically, and also my lids, because my lids get very, very oily. So right now I'm just brushing off whatever excess powder there might be on my face, and making sure that the powder that's on the brush already gets on my lids. So one thing that I do notice about the foundation is that it does seep into the lines. So if you have lines and wrinkles and stuff, it does sort of seep into that. So what I'm going to do is just take some of that midnight banana powder and kind of just put it all over. So that's something that I really don't like. I'm going to be using NYX's eyebrow gel. So let's go ahead and get into the eyebrows. This is the shade Espresso. And I'm going to be using a wing liner brush. Okay, so now that my brows are on, we're going to go ahead and move into an eye look that I think is really, really pretty for fall. And I've gotten a lot of compliments on this look, so I thought I would do a get ready. So I'm going to be using the Jaclyn Hill palette by Morphe. And the first color that I'm going to be using is this shade right here. So it's that tan brownish color. So this color. And I'm going to be using a blending brush. I'm also using this as my transition shade, so I'm going a little bit above the crease as well. And I am literally winging that out. Okay, so I think that's good. I'm going to go ahead and move on to my lid shade because this only takes literally a couple of seconds to do this. So I'm going to be using this shade right here. And I'm actually going to apply this with my finger. I just feel like it applies better with my finger. So it's this shade right here. And it looks kind of sort of metallic. I'm just going to wipe the excess on my BeatBib. That's what it's for. So then I'm going to darken this up a little bit with this shade right here. So this one, which is more of a reddy brown. So then I'm going to take a clean, stiffer blending brush, and I'm going to blend this dark color out. So I'm basically winging this out as well. So next I'm going to be taking a pencil brush, and then I'm going to be using that same dark reddish brown color, and we're going to take this under the lash line. Now I'm going to line my waterline with some black eyeliner. And then we're going to go ahead and do our mascara. Okay, so now that our mascara is on, I'm going to go ahead and start to contour my face. And I'm using my all-time favorite, my Black Radiance Pressed Powder in Bronze Glow. This stuff never does me wrong. I'm already at pan. Well, it's been a while. I've actually had this for a while, and it's actually lasted a really long time. yeah, I'm still feeling like the foundation is like really tight on my face, but I'm not sure if that's a good or bad thing just yet, because maybe it's supposed to be a long wear foundation. So yeah, so I'm starting to notice that it is setting into my smile lines. Now I really don't have that happen a lot, so I'm just gonna take that powder brush and really like dust it. Next, I'm going to highlight. I'm going to be using Wet n Wild's Crown on my Canopy, or Crown of my Canopy. This stuff is really good and super cheap. It's like $3. So yeah, so now I'm going to be using Wet n Wild's Crown of my Canopy highlighter. So far, I don't really think the foundation looks that bad. It might not be too dark. It doesn't look that bad. This just the setting into the lines, I'm hating it. But other than that, I honestly kind of like it. And I don't like the fact that it feels like stiff on my face. But other than that, I like it, because it does give you like that flawless finish. You just cannot use a lot of this product. So that I'm finding out. And I also feel like this should have been like a semi matte. So I feel like her foundation should have been more on the dewy side. But I mean, I'm liking it. I'm liking it. We'll see what Riri does and what she has in store for the future. So I'm gonna go ahead and actually take some of that Crown of my Canopy. And I'm gonna put that in my tear ducts. So I'm going to be doing a dark lip. I'm going to be using Colored Rain's Tootsie. So now I'm going to go ahead and get some lashes on, and then we'll be right back. Okay, everybody, so I got my eyelashes on, and I use the ikatehouse in 702. These are one of my favorite style lashes. They give you that Bambi effect for sure, and that's what I like. I mean, I like the whole flare out. So yeah, this is the look. One thing I can say about this foundation, again, it feels very heavy on my face, and I don't know if that's because I have a primer on or if I use way too much foundation. So that's just one con that I have, and I don't like that it sits in the fine lines. So one thing that I am going to do is I'm going to use some of Laura Mercier's Candle Light. This is a illuminating powder, and it's a loose powder, and I'm going to kind of like buff this into my skin because I want that like really fresh face look. So I'm going to just take a little bit of that into the top, and this is what it looks like. So it kind of looks like a highlighter, but it's really soft. So I'm going to use a powder brush. So I'm just going to use powder brush, and I'm going to dust some of this onto the powder brush and just buff it into my skin. A little better about the whole look now. But overall, I feel like the foundation is actually really good if you need full coverage. It's very flawless when using a sponge. The only cons I have is that it's very stiffening to the skin, and it seeps into that fine lines and wrinkles that you may have. But other than that, it's not bad. Not bad at all. So I hope that you guys enjoyed this get ready with me. I'll see you guys in my next video. And if you haven't checked out BeatBib, make sure that you do. I'll have my discount code down below for you guys. This thing is a lifesaver. So again, I'll see you guys in my next video.